Oli the Goalie Tech Reviews. Today is my second video in the series of the Google Pixel Fold in Canada A. Really what this video is about is how does the Pixel work while using it in Canada versus US or Europe where it was released. I realize that it's a global version. The phone will work just about anywhere, but it was more importantly, for me at least, to know how well it would work in Canada. In the area that I live, our LTE signal is not the greatest. In fact, the 5G is even worse. So it's very important that the LTE signal is good, or even great for that matter. For example, I have an ongoing case with Samsung right now in regards to my Z Fold 4 because the LTE signal is horribly weak. In fact, it's pathetic. As a matter of fact, both of my daughters have the S22 FE, I believe it is, Fan Edition. And I can walk around my entire block where I live and not lose signal. I can stream a YouTube video, for example, and have no cutout whatsoever. But on my Z Fold 4, I cannot do that. There are 3 or 4 spots as I walk around my block. It's about 1 kilometer around the walk that I do on a regular basis. And about 2 or 3 spots, it just completely cuts out, stops streaming, won't do any video, can't send an email, for example. Now, some might ask, well, you know, how important is that to be able to do that? It also is similar at my home. And as a matter of fact, with this phone, I actually have to be on Wi-Fi calling if I'm wanting to be certain about receiving a call or any of that, you know, device data, any of that stuff. So Wi-Fi calling is very important just to receive a phone call, and of course, obviously Wi-Fi for data and stuff. But if I'm trying to just use the data that that my service provider gives me, this phone is essentially useless. So Samsung was, you know, kind enough to arrange door-to-door service. I sent it to Samsung for repair. It was gone for about a week. I was following or tracking the repair ticket. Ironically, in that service ticket, they had mentioned phone won't power on, will not turn on. That seemed to be what they said was the problem. As I followed that ticket, it was sent back to me with no repairs done. I had 2 things. I had the weak LTE signal, and I also had a creaking sound on the Fold itself, which is a little bit better now, but it still does creak once in a while. And neither of those were fixed. As a matter of fact, the service ticket came back non-repaired. But nonetheless, this is not a video about the service on my Z Fold. It's more to do the comparison between the Z Fold and my Google Pixel Fold. So what I can happily say is that when I walk around my neighborhood with the Pixel Fold, I do not lose signal whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it stays connected almost the entire walk, or for the entire walk. And as you can see on the screen, I have about half of the LTE bars, which is pretty good, all things considered. That's it makes me kind of happy, and you know, it's exactly what I was hoping for. Now, that being said, in the home, when I'm here, I have about the same equivalent, on the bars for the Samsung. But it's more importantly, while I walk around the block at night doing my laps, is where I have the issue. So I'm very happy to say that the Pixel Fold I don't know if it's because they have stronger LTE antenna or what it is with this phone, but it certainly is an improvement over the Samsung. So that's the first and most important feature, at least for me, when I was looking at getting this phone and actually comparing it to the Z Fold 4. The other things that I find, first of all, everybody knows who watches my videos, I'm a huge fan of the Surface Duo, both the 1 and 2. I've owned them both, very much in love with both of those phones. As a matter of fact, I still use the Surface Duo 1. In my opinion, as far as hardware goes, it's still one of the absolute best phones when it comes to folding technology. I've said it before, and if they could make a Surface Duo 3 almost exactly as the Surface Duo 1, but with the continuous screen, without that separation, I would absolutely love that phone and would buy it without question. The Google Pixel Fold is as close to, in one of my previous videos, when I first got the phone, unboxed it, and started talking about it, one of the first things that I mentioned was that the similarity between the Pixel Fold and that Surface Duo 1 is pretty darn close, as a matter of fact. I mean, the Pixel is a little bit smaller, obviously, as close to that Surface Duo as you're going to get. So when I compare my like for the Surface Duo to the Pixel Fold, it is very, very close in the sense of the usability, just the way that the phone opens, the actual hinge that the Pixel Fold has is probably the closest, I'm going to say, to that Surface Duo that I've used. So that's very nice as well. I actually really love the hinge. There's a lot of things that I absolutely love about this phone. One of the things that I did mention when I did the first unboxing was the fact that this phone doesn't lay flat. I've had lots of comments, people telling me that you can force it. I really don't think a phone should have to be forced to actually lay flat. It just seems to me that it's just a weird situation. Nonetheless, I've kind of learned to live with it. As we all know, the OnePlus Open has just been released, and one of the things that everybody is quite excited about is its lack of crease. I really don't find the Pixel Fold crease to bother me that much. I do find that I notice it when it is in this unfolded state, in a sense of that it's not lying flat, but I've kind of gotten over that. It is what it is. There's really not a whole lot you can do about it anyways. The other thing that I really love about the internal screen, when I'm talking about just this sort of usability, is the landscape versus horizontal kind of thing. I love this. I love this landscape. I love the fact that it's lays this way, that it's wider. I mean, when you compare the two phones, pardon me, the Google Pixel Fold versus the Z Fold, when you do line them up, this way, they're very close in the sense of the screen size. As a matter of fact, when we do turn the Pixel Fold on its side, they're almost identical in the sense of, size of screen, width, everything. As a matter of fact, when we talk about width, and even with the bigger bezels, the Google Pixel Fold is a little bit bigger in a sense. So I'm a really big fan. I absolutely love this thing. And I was quite excited when I first got the phone in my first video, just because it was brand new. I was so excited to actually receive this phone, and so disappointed when we didn't get it in Canada. So I knew that I had to actually bring it in. And now that I have, and I've been using it for about 2 weeks, there has literally been not a single thing that I've went, I'm not happy about. I wish it did this better, or what have you. The signal has been great. Another nice thing that I've noticed with the Z Fold 4, when I'm running on headphones, even Samsung's own Pro 2s versus the Pixel Fold, there is a volume increase in the audio output on those headphones with the Google Pixel Fold versus my Z Fold 4. Not quite as loud as the Surface Duo 1. I noticed that whether I'm using my Soundpeat headphones or my Samsung headphones, the Surface Duo is the loudest output in the sense of volume to the headphones. The Google Pixel Fold is second, and of course the Z Fold 4 is in last place. So, I'm, at my age, hearing gets to be a little bit less than it used to, we should say. And so a little bit louder headphone makes a big difference for me, especially when I'm even making calls on the phone. Just the ability to turn it up and be able to hear my, the person I'm talking to better is also a nice feature as well. So even just the sound quality itself, the output to headphones, is in my opinion superior to the Z Fold, but not quite at the same level as the Surface Duo. So that's just the audio quality. The camera, what can I say about the camera? The camera's fantastic. I do some JMago N1 Ultra projector videos on my channel, and with the Z Fold, when I record a video, it has a bit of a red tinge in the video, and I guess it's something to do with the BT color space that projector can project, because it's so high that the camera has a difficult time actually showing that color reproduction. The Pixel Fold still has an issue, but it's a lot better in a sense of being able to take that video. I may even have a picture here, because it works on the picture as well. Here's a picture I took the other day of a hockey game of my screen in my home theater room, and you can still see there's a little bit of that pink tinge, but it's a lot better than it would have been if I took it on my Z Fold 4. So the idea of being able to use my phone for little quick snippets and shots down in my home theater room when I'm making videos for the N1 Ultra become a lot easier, as opposed to having to set up my camera and get everything all up and running. So even when we talk about just the quality of the video that this phone uses, let alone the pictures themselves, again, really hard to beat. It's funny, in all my years of using mobile technology, I never really owned a lot of Pixels. I did own a Pixel 7 Pro, which, ironically, I ended up taking it back because, the charging time was ridiculously slow. The battery life wasn't great, and I don't know if it wasn't because, I hadn't set up with the learn the battery and all those other kind of things, but I was never really impressed. I've always absolutely loved Android, and I've always absolutely loved the idea of having a clean, unskinned Android operating system. So very excited about the fact of being able to have that with this phone. But I was never really, as I said, I just wasn't really impressed with that with the Pixel 7. I have to say that's completely changed with this Pixel Fold. I think it's a fantastic phone. I absolutely love it. As far as the usability in Canada, again, I realize it's a global phone. I understand that it will work anywhere in the world. But I have had global phones where, for example, some of the bank apps didn't work properly, or we wouldn't get the L1 for the Netflix to be able to, get the better resolution, etc. Whereas this thing has had zero issues with all of the apps that I'm running, whether it is Netflix, whether it is my bank app, whether it's Google Pay, everything works with zero issues. Really hard to beat. Absolutely love this phone. So this video today is just a short one. It was really more just about to say, okay, we're 2 weeks in. I've had zero issues with any usability, in Canada. I've had a few stares and looks as I use this phone, and a few people come up and ask me, you know, was that the Google Pixel Fold? Because of course, not too many people have them, you know, in Canada, let alone on the island where I'm from. And so it's kind of nice to be able to show it off, and when people come up and ask about it, because the reality is it's not a phone like you see, you know, a Pixel 8 or a Pixel 7 or you know, even a Z Fold 4 or 5 for that matter. They're everywhere. Everybody's got them. But in Canada and where I live, there are very few people with these phones. And it's really kind of a shame. I wish people really had the ability to, you know, to try this phone and really fall in love with it. It's you know, it's a great phone. One thing I did want to touch on real quick, and I'll take this case off. So the two things that I have done with this phone is I have added a screen protector on the front. I like the idea of protecting or at least preserving the integrity of that screen, not as much for dropping, more for just keeping the scratches and that sort of thing off. I've also thrown on a skin on the back that has given it sort of more of a grippy feel to it. It's taken away from that matte feeling, but it doesn't really fingerprint up too much, and it gives me a little bit more grip. I also have a camera screen protector as well, or I guess lens protector, because I want to try and keep this phone as pristine as I can. I will use it without the case. This is a pretty thin, I guess it's like a carbon fiber type case, so it doesn't really add a lot of thickness to the phone, but it does give it a little bit more protection. But on the other hand, I'm not too afraid to take this thing out and just use it without it, because I feel it's a durable, strong phone. And again, it just feels good in the hand, especially with this skin on the back. I've got a good grip to it. I'm not too worried about slipping out of my hands. So overall, I would have to say, you know, out of 10, I'm going to score this phone at least for the first 2 weeks at about a 9.5. The only real issue that I can find in this phone, really, is the fact that it doesn't lay perfectly flat. And again, some people maybe don't care about that. Some people are very bothered by it. As far as I'm concerned, I notice it. It's there, but very much like the idea of the crease when, you know, the Pixel, or when the Z Folds first came out. You find that as you know, start to use the phone, it just disappears and you don't really see it. And as far as this angle goes, it's really not too bad. Again, you can push the limit a bit and you can actually straighten this if you want, but you end up finding, you know, really that it doesn't really make much of a difference. So that's it in a nutshell for now, guys. Again, if you enjoy my videos and appreciate what it is that I do, I'm still on my push for 500 subscribers. I watch all of these big time YouTubers with millions of subs and I just think, wow, how do they do it? What, you know, what is the difference between somebody with struggling to get 500 subs versus, you know, 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 or 1,000,000? So I'm just going to try and put out more content, you know, try and take advantage of the algorithms and everything like that. So if you like my videos, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please click the like and the notification buttons and comment. Let me know what I can do better. You know, at the end of the day, when I'm making these videos, I try to think as to what my viewers would want to see on them. And I always do my best to put that out, but if you can actually give me feedback as to what's important to you, that makes it a little bit easier for me to make those videos. So please comment as well. And again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. I'm incredibly grateful. I absolutely love the fact that I can do this for you all, and if it helps you out in any way, then that just makes my day. So thanks again. I hope you enjoy the video. I will be bringing out another one in a couple of weeks' time, and in the meantime, just take care, be safe, and thanks again.